Hello, CBS Army. Today we're going to talk a bit about Bitcoin's technical analysis and more on the news around Bitcoin this week. So let's get started. Welcome to Crypto by Sire. In this channel, I recommend some of the underrated cryptocurrencies for life-changing gains. So if you love making money and cryptocurrencies, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Also make sure to hit the bell icon so you can only update my videos. Remember, the giveaway for 1000 MEX Myo Exchange tokens is still live. All you have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and follow the rest of the steps in the video description. So first of all, let's look at the Bitcoin technical analysis on 4-hour chart. There's nothing fancy going around here, and it's majorly in a decline. But let's just look at in more detail on what's been happening in the space. And if you focus down a bit before, like a couple weeks earlier, we saw this downtrend coming from 60s to consolidation phase between around 35 to 40,000 on Fibonacci level, right? And it stayed here for a lot of days, tried to even break out, but it got rejected. And this trend line, textbook downward movement, and then fall back up, trying to reach that, break the 35,000 level, rejected. Another push that did go above the trend line and like above 35. And then since then, we're just making a series of lower highs, right? It's just a downward trend at the moment. We have to wait for confirmations to make another move or buy again, right? One of the key levels to look at is this intersecting line between 33,000 level kind of resistance now and this trend line. This is where you'll have to test. If it breaks above this trend line, we could be going forward again, like in the 35 above region and 40s above. But I think we're still going to consolidate in this blue area. We could potentially go back to this 31,600 level, which just recently touched yesterday. And yeah, things are looking just on downward trend, nothing fancy here. And just wait for confirmations. We could see Bitcoin below, if it goes below, if it manages to go below 31,600 again, then we could see a 30,000 or a 28,000 Bitcoin again. But this is another, like, a condition that if it falls again below 31,600, right? And it could happen because there's still not much price action, not much volume. It's just consolidating. Before it was consolidating in 30 to 40 range, 35 to 40 range, and now it's more around 28, 27 to this $35,000 range. So that's my take. Like, we could see at least a month of break even right now, like, since we haven't recovered the way we expected. So I am expecting another month of a consolidation, moving around here, somewhere here, and that's pretty much it. No more volatility to move the price way higher. So that's pretty much it on my take on the technical analysis. Let's move over to the news. As for the news, there are a couple of interesting things that I want to go over today that kind of makes my decision on why there's going to be consolidation for at least a month, at least till the August 2nd week. So you can call it a winter, like small winter if you want. And yeah, so first of all, I have SEC's decision that's delaying ETF, and the current date for an extension is August 10th. So this is, although this came out, and another article came out, like, although SEC delays Bitcoin ETFs, there are still other companies in US that are releasing Bitcoin related funds because people are asking for it, right? There's a good demand for it and people are asking for it. So again, times of uncertainty, positive, negative balance, neutral zone. You shouldn't be just forcing yourself to buy unless you're looking to dollar cost average, then it's good. Otherwise, if you're positioning yourself to a big buy, then I think you should just wait and let the things play out in this month, because you'll get a lot of opportunities to buy. Moving on to Grayscale, like, we've been hearing that Grayscale is going to unlock $550 million worth of Bitcoin on July 18th, right? So on July 18th, 16,420 BTC will be released for the investors so that they can, if they want, they could just sell them or they could just keep it, right? So what exactly is this GBTC unlock, this Grayscale Bitcoin Trust unlock? So people who bought 6 months earlier, like funds in GBTC, so they actually got a piece of Bitcoins that GBTC was holding, right? And they were locked for 6 months. So if you invested in GBTC, which is not exactly buying Bitcoin, if you're buying a GBTC, then you're just buying that particular ticker, and then that's just doing those Bitcoin holding for you, right? And once you invest in those shares, now after 6 months, that particular portion is becoming unlocked, and you'll be able, if you invest in it, be able to sell or keep it, right? So again, people are saying that's going to be really impactful in the market, but I think it's not, because the amount of Bitcoin, the amount of Bitcoin that is being released or unlocked is quite low. So that's only 16,240. And if I do the comparison on math with respect to market cap, currently Bitcoin is around 606 billion in market cap. And if you just take 0.5 billion, 0.55 billion out of this, like even if you sell all of that 0.55 billion, there's just not much price action. It's not even 0.1%, right? So it's not going to have that significant impact that people think it's going to make. It's just the panic that's more riskier than this, right? And it's probably better for them they just hold, or if people want to invest now in a GBTC, that's a good time to go in it, or just buy Bitcoin, right? So I think it's more around a neutral zone, and a bit of a FUD again, but I don't think it's that relevant. However, there's one thing that I want to focus on lastly. So this came in on July 14th, which is today, and it titles that Bitcoin is below 32,000 as Fed rate hike bets rise. Gold remains resilient. So let's go through this a bit in more detail. So they're saying that currently the sell-off is somewhat related to, or this more downtrend or following downtrend is more related to this repricing of CPI. What exactly is CPI? CPI is Consumer Price Index, and it is increased by 5.4% from previous year. Now, if you're wondering what exactly Consumer Price Index is, I have that right here. So here you compare the cost of market basket, something, for example, as a daily basic need that you need to buy stuff, right? Like bread, butter, right? So something you can buy this year for a certain amount, and then you compare it with the last year. And if you see an increase in CPI, then that means currently we are facing inflation, like a higher inflation. And that exerts a need on having more cash available to buy that exact same amount of item for a higher price. So something you can buy in $100, now maybe you can buy the same thing for like $105, $106, right? So that inflation is getting repriced, and that exactly means, right, we need more money to spend money, right? So that also could lead to a big, not exactly big, I think it's going to be a rough, okayish dump, somewhere around 28, 30. That's the maximum I'm thinking, but it's crypto. Anything could happen. It breaks expectations, it meets expectations, it does anything, right? So there could be a potential, somewhat of a dump, like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 Bitcoin. Nothing much fancy, but I think that this is going to take time, and like, yeah, this is how it is, right? People will need more money to spend money, and that's going to drive the price. Like people will end up like selling the Bitcoin to buy basic necessities, right? If the inflation is going to go high. So that's pretty much on my take on what exactly is like pressing on the issue of Bitcoin. But I still think these are short-term noise. You can just ignore it if you're a long-term holder. because I certainly feel in a matter of a month or two, or even like a couple months, right? We're gonna like gain all the momentum back once again. It's just everything is being adjusted. The world is adjusting to the changes to pandemic, to everything becoming normal, then going back to Delta, right? So it's just a kind of neutral zone. People are just understanding, a bit uncertain on what to do. And we've historically seen, like in September onwards, we've seen a good bull run usually whenever crypto takes in a ride on January and February. And it all starts with September, right? So you can expect like August to serve as like a connection point between this winter and bull market. And from there, that the connecting point could be August, and that from September, we could just drive back higher again, right? Maybe not as fast as we saw because of uncertainty, because of these changes, but I still think we can slowly go back to the places we have been before. So that's pretty much it on my take today. Let me know in the comments what you think Bitcoin can go to, and make sure to hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.